So I spec'd these fenders out for my Villains angle kit, which is stock extended lower control arms, cut knuckles. But then when I upgraded to FDF angle kit, it moved the coilover out to here, so it's extending the track width, and my wheels do not fit. Right as I installed the kit, I grabbed a crescent wrench and bent this up. Actually, no, I didn't. I buckled the fender and then I did that at the track. So this is like the angle it's supposed to be at, like straight down, and then this is how much it's pulled up. Yeah. So I ran like this all last season. As you can tell, stupid. Doesn't look good. Not spec'd out. So I went to the same guy and I said, hey, I need bigger flares. And he gave me these monster ass huge flares. Got little studs on them. You can see where my last studs were. He freaking he got those like in the same spot, which is like almost crazy, just a little bit out, but freaking huge. See the fitment's good. What a huge flare. GX is looking good, but yeah, pretty stoked. I wasn't sure if these were gonna fit because they rise so freaking high. It's insane. But there's one issue I have. The welded on stud is kind of not in the right position. These are custom flares, so we didn't have the car. So I'll show you what I did to fix this. So these sat forever, so there's surface rust on them, but no big deal. So, little studs welded on the inside. I had the same issue with it hitting the fender on these ones, but I took a grinder and I tried to grind most of everything out of the way so it pulls it flush while keeping the weld still intact. Let's try to do that with this one. God damn, she is thick as fuck. These are huge. Livery's coming off also, so that's why the drive D's taken off. But fisheye makes it look huge. I mean, they are huge. Hopefully when it's white, it'll blend in better like this, but poke. She is thick as fuck. Let's see. I mean, this is a bad representation because these are so pulled. It's still a 2-finger gap. I wasn't sure if it was gonna lower it or not. But guess what? I have sunk wheels with the like a Wisefab equivalent setup, which is hilarious. God damn, it's so big. So it's metal, so guess what? Look at all it's hitting. I'm gonna trim that. Sick. How's this side? Perfect. But yeah, it's hilariously big. Hopefully it'll look better with some paint. But this car is for function. I mean, I'm trying to have it look cool. I mean, it's pretty low in the back. There's no wheel gap. I'm trying to have it be functional and look cool, which is kind of hard. This car, 100% form. It's supposed to look pretty. Got the metal wide body. Check out that door gap. Fantasy colors work. It's freaking beautiful. Torn apart life. I'm trying to have all my cars on my YouTube channel kind of seamlessly, like everyone at once, not just 240 content, not just GX content, not just 350Z content. These videos do really well on my YouTube channel, which is kind of funny because I only have like a couple of them, but every one has done pretty well. GX videos have done well. 240, that's pretty much what my whole YouTube channel is so far. But yeah, man, need some caster to make it look better. Oh, and that's half of it, of the balloon look. It was just like that. It's just test fit purposes right now. But yeah, these flares are super big. Super big. Time to do the passenger side. So round one, I got in a wreck, which caused that crease. And I had all OEM mounting points for my OEM Type X bumper, and they all got bent and broken. So now it's this spring clamp, 2 zip ties, one there, and this spring clamp. How I keep it even, I threaded in bolts and a nut. So these are the guides for these holes, which works actually really good. They're just guides. And the spring holds it on. So yep, pretty easy to get my bumper off. And here's the other damage. Bent that guy in pretty good. Used to be like that, now it's way in. But yeah, this is exactly how you get it from Ulterior's motor shop, I think is how you say it. You get your studs. You have to ask for the studs. Otherwise, these are weld on, and it's a little bit extra money, I think, but not too much. And I'll show you how to put these on the best way I know how. So these are custom flares. They're not necessarily on this website. I mean, these ones are on this website. They're not spec'd out or measured for S13. Since these are so big, we had to spec them out. So how I'm installing these is, on these ones, I had them above the S13 little bar right here, but I want my car to be visibly low because it's only an OEM kit, and OEM kits don't make the car look low. I mean, if this was like a BN Sports, the side skirt would be like way down here, or a Rocket Bunny or anything else. So like an OEM kit, it's kind of hard to look low. I'm trying my best. So on these ones, like I did on the other side, mounted them all the way down, which it looked like it worked out. So, and these are perfectly flat, or at least it kind of looks like it. So it's kind of hard to line it up because it fits like that, which is like, holy crap, how are you gonna line this up? But the first 2 holes you drill so it does not move. That one and that one. So I'm gonna line it up, mark it, put my Sharpie mark and drill through, and then put those through, and then line this guy up, poke through, line that guy up, poke through, install it, line that guy up, push where it's gonna go, and drill through. So it's like stages, because you can't just drill them all at once, because it's a complicated shape. It's not going to just sit flat. So I drilled my 1 hole. It's in right there. I did not drill this one because I just want to line it up the best that I can. So it looks like I'm right on the money where my Sharpie mark is. So let's drill that real quick. What I find what helps is these top three are so long that like where they touch down on the metal right now is not necessarily where they're gonna touch when it's flush on the metal, because look at that, that's a 2-finger gap or 3. So I'm gonna trim the tips off those studs. Reinstalled the nuts, so when I cut the tips off, the nuts fix the threads as they come back off. So time to cut. So we trimmed down the studs just a little bit, and now we'll take the bolts back off and continue on with the second fender. Just trim this corner a little bit so it's sat flat. That side's good. These 2 bolts are finger tight. And now come up to the next stud. And there's my Sharpie mark right there. Other side. Where am I? Right there. So now take it off, and drill those 2 holes, and do it again. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got these in, and it looks like I have the same problem as the other side, where the stud is making contact before it sits flush, which it's no problem. I'll just grind it like I did the other side. And as you can tell, it worked out pretty good over here. So not an issue, just a little bit of extra step. Like I said, these are custom. He made these off measurements. He didn't have a car to build them off of. I mean, I'm impressed. Before we drill our last hole, I'm gonna grind these down so it actually sits where it's going to sit before I push this guy down. So like I said earlier, imagine if we drilled the center hole first. We would have no idea how to make these perfect. Like it could be like this, or it'd be so hard to bend it from that way. But if you work your way up from each side, it's like really easy. I think anybody could do this. Okay, so I took the heads off. So now I can sit flat. So as you can see, it's sitting flush in there now. And now we gotta get this huge gap closed, which scratch up the paint, make my dot right above that line. All right, now take the fender off again, like the 10th time taking the fender off. Boom. And you can peep how good the fitment is. Now time for paint. For this video, it's just the front metal wide body. I mean, it's pretty sick. I think anybody can do it on any car, as long as there's not a door jamb involved or a fender line. Like, yeah, I think it's hard, like plastic welding and stuff like that. But yeah, see you in the next one.